What is up, guys? Rick Grimes for President here, bringing you another Walking Dead review video. And as you can see in the background, I have a little guest here, Hayden.
What?
Ron.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hi.
I got Hayden Dunlap here, a good friend of mine, and we're going to be reviewing The Walking Dead Season 4, Episode 6, Live Bait. And the song you heard right at the beginning was Black by Carrie Kimmel. And I still don't know why that's not the theme song for The Walking Dead, because that song is amazing. It was the song of the Season 3 trailer, and if you haven't heard it, go back and watch that.
Well, you don't like you don't like that.
Not for 4 seasons.
It's starting to wear out.
And the reason I put that song in there is because it's something that is completely different from the show, which this episode was about. And this episode heavily focused on the governor, and everybody knows the governor.
Nick Fury?
No,
Odin?
not Nick Fury,
Odin?
not Odin.
Oh,
Don't say it.
I've already figured. Blackbeard?
Actually, there's a few pirate references in this episode. Anyways, last time we saw the governor, he was slaying out his Woodbury residents because he was just a angry man. So we see him at the beginning of this episode, sitting by a campfire, singing campfire songs, and doing what he does best, thinking and being very aggressive looking. And you see a walker come up and look like she's about to rip his face off, and she falls down, and he's just sitting there not doing a thing about it. And Martinez, his little henchman, has to shoot the walker in the head, because the governor wasn't going to do anything about it. I really think that he was just going to let that zombie finish him off. And this is when Martinez and the other guy, I'm not sure what his name is, finally figure out that the governor is dead weight. And they realize that he's not the same man as he was when he was at Woodbury. So they basically just leave the governor stranded. And the governor goes off on his own. Now, Hayden here hasn't seen the episode. So I'm spoiling it for him and trying to review it for him as best as possible right now.
You're good, man.
So trying to give him a little synopsis of what is going on.
I'm excited.
So we then see the governor alone, and he has this huge beard.
Right.
He has long hair and this huge beard. It looks awesome on David Morrissey. He's a great actor.
Of course.
So we see him. He's walking around, and he goes back to Woodbury. And when he goes back to Woodbury, he burns the whole town to the ground.
Really?
The reason he burns the whole town to the ground is because he doesn't want anything from his past coming back again. What happened to Penny at Woodbury, as you guys know, was shown, stabbed her through the face. So he burns down the whole town of Woodbury and goes along and walks along to some awesome music. And as he's walking along, he sees a house. And he looks up in the window of the house, and he sees a little girl standing there in the house. So he goes to see what's up, because this is the first sign of people that he's seen for months.
Since Woodbury.
Since Woodbury, since Martinez, since everything.
Yeah.
So he goes into the little house and ends up finding a room with some people inside. And these people include a girl named Tara, however you want to pronounce it, Lily, Megan, and Grandpa Don. And so Lily is Lily is Tara's sister,
Mm-hmm.
and Megan is Lily's daughter, and that's their grandpa there.
Sure.
So this is the first sign of life he has seen in forever, and they don't really welcome him. They see him, and he has a gun, and they put a gun to his face and say, "Drop the gun," and of course he does it. He's a little bit different in the head now, so he does it.
Mm-hmm.
And this group invites him in. And when they did this, when they announced their names, I was so excited, because this is following exactly from Jay Bonansigna's book, The Rise of the Governor.
Oh, that's pretty good, actually.
So if you've read The Rise of the Governor, it was a book written by, the story was written by Robert Kirkman and Jay Bonansigna. It's hard to say his last name. So it was basically how the governor got to Woodbury and became the governor. But the show put a twist on it and did it by saying he's already been through Woodbury, and now they're introducing these characters. So I agreed and disagreed with that because I did like the way the book was, how he became the governor, how he became insane.
Right.
But this was a good twist to it. And in the book, it's also Tara and April and not Tara and Lily.
That's right.
And if you recognize the name Lily from the comic books,
No way. Oh my gosh.
then you're going to know why they introduced Lily. So, I'm not spoiling anything. Read the comic books. So basically, these people need the governor. They need someone. They need a man. Their grandpa's sick, so they need someone to take care of them.
Right.
Megan automatically starts. The little girl automatically starts having a relationship with the governor.
I mean,
And,
little kids are cute.
right.
Like, it worked in Iron Man 3.
So she asked the governor, why do you have the eye patch? And the governor jokes around and says, well, I'm a pirate. So the Blackbeard reference.
I call it.
So that was a really, really funny thing because she made the governor laugh. The governor has not laughed, has not smiled since Penny, and this little girl made him laugh. This brought a connection on with this little girl and the governor. He knew he had to stay here. And so they finally get to know him a little bit, and they ask him what his name is. And as you know, before when he was walking to this house, he saw a barn with a bunch of names written on it, and one of the names written on it was Brian. So he says, "My name's Brian." If you've read The Rise of the Governor, I'm not going to spoil it for you. Everybody, you probably think his name's Philip. His name is actually Brian. So this was a good way to introduce that. And so they start bringing him into the group, and they tell him that their grandpa needs a tank of oxygen. He absolutely needs a tank of oxygen. If he just got one tank of oxygen, he would be happy. And so the governor says, okay, well, I'll go and get a tank of oxygen for you. So you see him go into this hospital, and we see some awesome Greg Nicotero work here. We see a wheelchair zombie and a already deceased old person zombie who's laying in their nursing home bed.
Mm-hmm.
He's already deceased and turned.
Right.
And the governor goes and he gets a tank of oxygen, but before he gets a tank of oxygen, of course, he gets a little tied up with some walkers and has to take them out oxygen tank style.
Right.
And he makes it back, and when he makes it back, he finds out that Uncle Don has passed away, or Grandpa Don has passed away. And so the governor tells Tara, Lily, and Megan, you guys need to get out of the room. And Lily stays by I keep saying Uncle Don. Don.
Right.
Don's side.
Yeah.
And the governor says you got to go because you know what happens when you die? You reanimate.
Right.
They didn't know this. So he reanimates, almost attacks Lily, and the governor has to bash his head in with the oxygen tank.
Dang, that's
And
brutal.
it was really brutal, a lot of blood. And when he does this, everybody immediately becomes scared of him. So now he gained their trust, he lost their trust, now he has to gain it back again.
I mean, let's be real. I'm going to be terrified of the man swinging a giant oxygen tank around. It's
Right.
natural.
So he finally gets fed up, and he says he thinks to himself after he dumps SpaghettiOs out the window that they offer him. It was funny. They gave him some SpaghettiOs because he was hungry. He looks at him and he dumps them out the window.
I don't know why.
The governor doesn't like SpaghettiOs.
Why? It's like, halfway through in a zombie apocalypse.
You know why?
Why?
Because SpaghettiOs have 2 O's.
I'm really mad that I fell for that. I'm so angry.
No, but he seriously
Oh, is
did
that,
that actually
is
happened.
that the serious? Oh my god. No, it's like, who's gonna turn down SpaghettiOs like halfway through a zombie apocalypse? It's like, I've been eating deer meat. I've been living in the wild. SpaghettiOs.
Honestly. So the governor leaves and he says, I need to leave. But before he leaves, something comes on to him and he knocks on their door and tells them, well, I'm leaving. And they basically say, well, we're coming with you. So they go out on the road. And it's never good to be walking out on the road in the zombie apocalypse. So they're walking out on the road and they end up running into some zombies.
Of course.
And the governor and Megan have like a little standoff type thing because the governor tells Lily and Tara, hey, we got to run. We got to move. Lily and Tara, listen. Megan stands there. And I didn't understand this in the episode because the governor stood there and looked at her and said, come on, for 5 minutes before finally going to pick her up.
Right.
Don't understand why he just didn't run and pick her up. But anyways, he finally runs and picks her up, and they fall in a hole.
Yay!
There was a huge hole. They fall in a hole, and there's 3 walkers in there.
Right.
And this is the best zombie killing, walker killing I have ever seen on the show, period.
Okay, period. Let's hear this.
The governor wants to protect Megan.
Sure.
She's like an icon of Penny to him.
Of course.
So one of them comes up, and he punches his head into the side of the dirt wall that they're in. He takes another one. He takes a bone and rips the jaw up from the walker. Completely rips the jaw apart.
All right.
And then bashes another one's skull in. I mean, it's just amazing when you watch it. It's Greg Nicotero. Oh my god.
Dude, I've been really impressed with the zombies.
Yeah, they've been really creative this season.
I think I'm about to say a couple episodes ago, where the dude was built into the tree.
Right.
I think that's as iconic as Bicycle Zombie, season 1.
Yeah.
It's been incredible stuff so far.
So at the end, he finally takes care of all the walkers, and he picks up Megan and holds her and says, you're okay. And another walker that he obviously hasn't killed all the way yet stands up and comes up to bite him, and someone shoots the walker in the head. He looks up, and it's Martinez standing up there.
All right.
So they run back into Martinez. After Martinez has kicked him out of the group, the governor runs back into his past. Burns down Woodbury, runs away from Martinez.
He's successfully avoided.
He's completely avoided everything. He just wants to be on his own, and he runs back into Martinez at the end of the episode.
I tried to get out, but they pulled me back in.
So it's going to be really interesting to see in the next episode how exactly, if Martinez helps him out of the hole,
right,
and if they let him back into the group, or what happens. Is there going to be a standoff between him and the governor, or what? Martinez has a gun, the governor has nothing but a knife out.
I'm interested in seeing when, he's been masquerading as Brian, from what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
He's been for these girls. So what's going to happen when, it's conflict of, this is Brian, and here's the governor. So what's going to happen when Brian and the governor collide?
Right. They're going to question, well, who's this governor character that they know you as?
It's like,
what happened?
And when the governor inevitably emerges,
right,
what's going to happen with the girls?
So it was a little change having Hayden here to, kind of backdrop, and if I can get lost on something, I can talk to him. But I tried to give him a review as well as you a review. I thought this was a great episode. A lot of you guys didn't get to see Daryl. Darn. So you didn't get to see the prison gang this episode, but we needed this episode to understand what was going on with the governor.
It's necessary.
Yeah, I mean, it's completely necessary. We can't just see the governor and be like, oh, where's he been for these past 4 months?
He's been hiding behind that tree, just waiting for
he's been hiding behind the tree the whole time, and finally he's like, oh, it's my time to shine.
All right.
But we had to know this episode. We had to know what the governor's been doing.
Of course.
And we had to get a little bit of the sanity back in the governor, because now he has people who he cares about. And it's not like Woodbury. He didn't care about those Woodbury people. He cared about himself. He cared about getting laid and Penny. And then after Penny was gone, he was nothing. That's why he shot everybody. But now he has something again. So now he's back.
Which makes this interesting, because let's say hypothetically, what I'm thinking here is he's going to lose these girls. But let's be real. That's a pretty. It's going to happen.
Yeah, The Walking Dead guy.
It's Kirkman.
Yeah.
So when he loses these girls, we thought he was nuts before.
Yeah.
He's gained this sanity back.
Right.
So what's going to happen when we snap back to insanity?
Right.
It's not going to be the same level of insanity. It's going to be so much worse.
Exactly. So
it's
going to be good, guys. Look for that mid-season finale, because it's going to be the one to watch. If you have not seen any episode of The Walking Dead ever in your life, and you just randomly come upon this video on YouTube, watch episode 8 of season 4. So as always, guys, thank you for watching. This is Hayden. Make sure to check out Noah's reviews on Out of My Geek Mind, Max Meyer's reviews on The Mountaineer.
Mountaineer, I think it is. Village Spot, something like that.
Yeah, something. I'll post a link in the description.
Right.
But thank you guys for watching. Leave a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. This was a long video. Like always, I apologize, but I can rant on The Walking Dead forever. And we'll see you next Sunday, guys.